Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All for Nintendo DS. Last time we left off, we were hearing more testimonies from Adrian Andrews, and as you all saw before, it seems like she's doing weird things, and Juan was being a little weird as well, and we just gotta find out more about this, so let's listen to her testimony about protecting Matt. But first, let me choke. I'm coughing here. Oh, man. Yep. Excuse me on that. That's what happens when you're sick. Or trying to get better from a sickness. I don't know. Let's continue on. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was a murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. Aha. Well, this does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self here. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If there are no objections, I feel I can pass a verdict based on this testimony. Now then, Mr. Wright, if you please. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. I feel like Phoenix is coming up with these puns and they're just not his style. I don't know, it's weird. So, at first let's go ahead and present some things here. She said that he had to kill Juan no matter what. Let's press on that. So, would you say this need came from the press conference? Well, yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved men on guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about a press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know anything about the press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that the information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Why is everybody saying that? Lay off me, woman! I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove that I'm right. Well... Wait a minute, did she amend it or no? Yeah, she did amend it. Let's go ahead and press on that and see if anything happens. Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Juan with his press conference, and that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard. Yet, you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, Wright. What the witness was thinking, helping the victim of his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Okay then. Let's see, didn't have an alibi. Okay, how about this? Our thoughts were confirmed with the button and the knife. Well... we kind of proved that we had theories that it could have been something else, so it wasn't really him, perhaps. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well have been a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jam Ninja's costume. You're talking about the button, correct? That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Duh. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Well, Jay, that's messed up. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Okay. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony. Why does nobody like Phoenix? What the hell? Do they forget that I solved, like, what? 5 cases in the beginning and 3... I solved 8 cases. Really, really public cases on my own with the help of psychics. But they still hate me like I'm like a noob or something. What the hell? Ugh. Whatever. That button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt. Now, on this one, I would like to go to the damn court. The autopsy report. He's saying he was strangled with a scarf and then stabbed for whatever reason. I don't know. I would think that. I don't know how, like, if you're strangling someone, like, how the hell the button would rip off or anything like that. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm gonna go ahead and present that, though. This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf. Strangulation? The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died. And what does this mean? Let's examine the evidence here. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when? After a knife was stabbed into the victim. Exactly. Which means it was impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle, because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. Ah! That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this right? Well, I thought he was going to repeat what he said. What is the meaning of this right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim has already died? What does that change? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve? What purpose? We now know this button was not turned off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it? Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it? Well, we got a couple choices here. To have a memento, no, that's more kind of like a weird serial killer thing. Who have to take mementos that are crap. To destroy evidence, I don't know. There already is a huge pile of evidence. I don't see why you want to destroy that one. But to pin the crime on Matt, yeah, that would be the most logical thing right there. There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Angard. There's no way anyone would put a blooded button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. Angard was set up. And by the real killer, of course. Well, who's the real killer? And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then? Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end. The real killer, the person who planned to frame Man on Guard is I wasn't going to tell you guys next time, but I'm only 9 minutes in. I can tell you guys. It's the one person we've been trying to blame this whole entire time. Miss Adrienne Andrews. I choose you. Are we playing Pokemon here? You are Juan's killer. What? And there go her glasses again. They're like saying, oh my gosh, she's going to take out another pair of glasses. Order! 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 Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge? Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. How preposterous! You can't stick any of that on me! I can't, can I? Would you care to test me? Then what about this knife? Well, the knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, of course. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's like the third pair of glasses she took now. Then, what about the button that was found in Man's Hakama? Well, this button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only person who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there's no way he would have to put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Oh my god, there's another pair of glasses. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him from his nap. Which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews. I see. What about the empty guitar case? That is also now a piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The victim... What the hell? Okay, never mind. I thought I saw something different here. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was that... who could have known that there was such a... Who... Wow, I can't speak today. I should put this in like a blooper reel or something. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside a guitar case? It could have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. No, Oh, she's feeling a little self-secure there, or whatever that was called. Insecure, there we go. But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at that time. Well, that's right. That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If someone had found out that she had touched the case, they would ask her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glasses of Andrews is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was a classic dazed discoverer of her dead body. And there's another pair of glasses. And to top it all off, there it is in the photo. A photo of the killer as they exit the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth could believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Man on Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Please, stop. Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify. What was that? There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing witnesses to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves. What? Why is Phoenix learning this now? You at the law school. You went for all those years. You should have known all these damn laws. Why is this a surprising factor for you? Pleading a fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Oh, well, maybe he did know. Maybe he just didn't really know she was going to use it. Who knows? Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room. Oh, remember this? Remember how we saw from Von Carter talking to her? She told her, right here, think hard about what I said. Or what we just discussed. Ah. That's it. That's when Franziska planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad. You did a good point proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done. Something I haven't done. What's wrong, Miss Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless. What? Everything you have proven is circumstantial. Circumstantial? Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Juan. Yeah, we don't have a motive, do we? Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Juan? I believe this may lead to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove in either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence. No! She's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should we do? Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation. I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. The defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof. But that's not true! In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do, and that's to declare a recess. Recess? I request that both the prosecution and defense look further into this matter, and at tomorrow's trial... Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial... Please continue the trial. What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he? That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya... But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that's very true, but actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a dead body, they are shaken up and not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate this witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know. Hey, that rhymed! The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. So yeah, there we go. Next time, guys, we're going to go ahead and listen to her testimony, once again, of when she found the body. And hopefully, we can put this whole crap to rest. Who knows? So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All for Nintendo DS. See you guys later.